For a lot of people, a Schengen visa is actually a dream come true, and it is because it is one of the visas that have a lot of weight when it comes to travel history, because it allows you access to all the countries in the Schengen area. These include Spain, Germany, Portugal, France, Iceland, Lithuania, Denmark, Poland, Sweden, all of these countries with one visa. You can access all of these countries, right? There are about 20 countries or so. If you want the list of these countries, let me know in the comment section, and of course, I'm going to respond to your comment with a link to the list of these countries if you actually want it. Now, one of the things I'm going to be talking about in today's video is what is a Schengen visa, which country should you apply to. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of countries, but if you get a visa from one country, you can actually use to enter all these countries, so it doesn't really matter which country you apply to. But there are countries that have very high rejection rates, and there are some that you have a very high chance of getting a visa if you apply right now. So we're going to be looking at all of these countries and be finding out which one. Then there's also something called the single and multiple entry. I'm going to be explaining all of this, and of course I'm going to be telling you the documents that you need to apply for this Schengen visa so that your visa will be approved. And last but not the least, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to start and finish your application inside of this video. So it's important that you actually sit back, relax, right? If you have a pen and paper, just sit down and take notes, as I'm going to be leaving no stone unturned. Now, for those of you who see me for the first time, my name is Gerald, and I'm a big advocate that you should not use agents to apply for your visa. So you should actually apply for your visas yourself because of issues like this. So even if you decide to use an agent, which I will not recommend, make sure that the email is your email so that you get correspondence from the embassy and from the VAC yourself. And also make sure that you know the documents, you are involved in the process, so you know the documents that's being used for you and you approve, right? So that the agent will not go and use fake documents to apply for visa yourself, and you will not get banned and probably told that you cannot visit this country for like the next 10 years. Do you get what I mean? Right? You don't want that to happen to you. So it's important that you actually pay attention and make sure you also hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and most importantly, you turn on the notification button so that when I drop more amazing videos, just like what you're about to watch right now, YouTube is going to send you a notification instantly. So let's jump right in. So what is Schengen? Now, Schengen, like I mentioned earlier, is a group of countries in Europe that have come together and decided that they are abolishing borders, right? So if one country grants you a visa, you can use it to access all of these other countries. As a matter of fact, the last time I traveled to Europe, I traveled on a French visa. I got into Paris, stayed for a few days, then entered local flight, and flew to Sweden, right? I was in Sweden for like a month or so. Now from Sweden, I came back to Paris, which is France. From France, I went back to the UK. Now from the UK, after a while, my friend said, let's go to Germany. I said, fine, that's fine. So we went to Manchester, entered the flight, and flew from Manchester straight to Germany. You get, on that same visa, because I had a multiple entry visa and it was for 6 months. You get, so I was using it, I used it as much as I could. So what this means is that when one country grants you a visa, you can use it to access all of these countries without border. So the only place that you're going to be checked in is when you land into the Schengen area. So if you come in through France or Germany or wherever you're coming from, they're going to stamp you in and you can travel to all of these countries without any restrictions at all. That's what Schengen means in a layman's term, right? So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is which countries should you apply to. Okay, if you go online right now and search on Google and say Schengen countries with low rejection rate, visa rejection rate, you're going to be seeing countries like Lithuania, Iceland, and stuff. Now here's the truth, those countries actually have very low application rate. Most people do not apply to those countries. Do you get? So you see, if you have low applications, you're going to be having low rejection. So let's say 10 people actually apply, you reject 5, right? That's 50% rejection, right? So if 10,000 persons applies for France and they reject 2,000, do you get? That's 80% approval. Do you understand? So this guy has 80%, this guy has, but we are not looking at the number of applications. Now, when I saw this online, I was thinking about Lithuania and Iceland when I wanted to apply for my first Schengen visa. I saw online, I was thinking about those countries, but I now figured out something. I said, everybody I know personally that have been to Europe, it's either Italian visa or Spanish visa or French visa, some of them even Portuguese visa. That's what most people actually do use, right? So I started calling them. So I called my cousins, the people I know. Everybody was saying France. I'm like, okay. So I went ahead and applied for a French visa, and of course I got that visa, right? So if you ask me personally and say, Gerald, which Schengen country has the highest visa approval? I think it's France, right? I think it's France. So France, Spain, Italy, and Portugal. All of these countries, if you think I'm mistaken, right, you have another argument. Let me know in the comment section. I will either learn from you or you learn from me. That we can have a conversation in the comment section if you actually do disagree with me. So in this video, we're going to be using French visa as a case study, right, for the Schengen area, so that if you are applying for a Schengen visa for the first time or you have been refused and want to reapply, you need to pay attention. Now, what's the difference between single and multiple entry visa? Very simple. So single entry means that you can enter the Schengen area once, and once you leave, you cannot come back with that particular visa. You have to get another visa, right? While multiple entry means that you can enter and come out as much as you want, right, within the period of that visa. So let's say they give you a 1 month visa. It means that in that 1 month you can go from Nigeria to Germany and come back to Nigeria, then go back to France and come back to Nigeria, or go back to Portugal and come back to Nigeria, go to Iceland and come back. That's what multiple entry means. You can enter multiple times, right? So I've seen people get 7 days visa, 3 days visa and stuff. I think I've been lucky. I think the least I've gotten is 6 months. Now, if you are traveling for the first time, you're applying for the first time, one of the things that is going to affect your application is something called travel history, right? Travel history. I'm going to be talking about it, but if you want to start your application right now, what you need to do is to click on the first link in my video description. It's going to bring you to this interface. So what I normally do is that I will download this form. This is application for Schengen visa. This is Schengen area flag. I know, right? So this is what the form looks like. And my approach is normally to download this form, right, and fill it out with pen before you start the online thing. So that if you make a mistake, you actually correct it, get your documents together and all of that. So this will give you an idea into the documents that you need: your flight ticket, what date should it be, accommodation, what date should it be, and all of those things. So you get all your documents together. As a matter of fact, I've actually made a video previously, which is here, showing you the documents that you need to apply for a successful French visa, right, Schengen visa, as a matter of fact. So if you click on the first link in my video description, it's going to bring you here. So download this form, and of course you can this form will actually guide you know exactly the information that you need when you are filling the form. Let's talk about the documents. Number one, you need your travel passport. I don't like calling it an international passport. I like calling it travel passport. That's me personally, right? Because I think it's for travel. It's a passport for travel, right? So you need your travel passport. You also need this application form, which you can access online. So when you're done filling that form with your pen, you are sure you have your information, you have all the documents that you need. The next thing you need to do is to come to Google and click on maybe French visa application, or Switzerland visa application, or Spanish visa application, right? So I'm using French, like I said, for a case study, as a case study. So I'm going to click on this, right? It's going to open this form. So what you need to do is to click on where it says start your application, and of course create an account and complete the process. Now, as a matter of fact, I'm planning to actually make a video where I show you guys step by step how to apply for a Schengen visa, right? If you want to see that video, let me know in the comment section, and I would actually hurry it up and make that video happen for you guys. For those of you guys who are interested, you want to see that, you let me know. So you can come here and click on create an account and start filling the form. Now, everything you are going to be seeing online is exactly what is inside the form that you printed out, right? So because you have printed it out, you have it, it will be easy for you to just fill it out, easy peasy. So you fill out the form. Another thing that you need is a passport size photograph. Now, this is what you're going to be taking with you to the VAC, and the VAC, which is the Visa Application Center. You're going to be taking it with you there. You also need medical insurance, right? Very important. The Schengen area, it's a requirement. You must have it. If you don't have it, that means that is an incomplete application, and of course you're not going to be getting that visa, right? So you need a Schengen visa, and I've actually made a video here showing you exactly how to actually buy your Schengen visa by yourself, right? You can actually do it yourself. Now, another thing you need is a flight booking. Of course, you need to book a flight, but you don't have to pay for the flight, right? I've actually talked about this in a previous video as well. The video is shown up right here. As a matter of fact, all these videos I'm referring to, I'm going to be putting the links in the description below, so you can actually go there, click on it, and it's going to take you to the right video so you can actually watch those videos. So you also need a hotel booking as well. I made a video about it. Then, very important, the elephant in the room is your financial statement, which is your bank statement, right? It goes to prove that you are making money, you have money. Now, it actually proves two things. It proves that you can take care of yourself. You're not going there to become a destitute, right? And it also proves tie for you, right? That you have tie to your country, basically, right? It shows that you have tie, that you have a business that is running, is bringing money. I actually talked about it in my bank statement mistakes that will get your visa refused. When people go and put in a lot of money into their account, and because they're applying for visa. As a matter of fact, I had a consulting session with a client, and then she said that her mother was going to give her 6 million when she's applying for her visa. So I told her and I said, your mother should not send that money until you have gotten your visa. Because if that money enters that account, then we'll have to prove we have to bring more documentation and explain why your mother is giving you money and all of those things. Do you get? And of course, you know, she had money in her account to cover all of those expenses and all of those things, right? So these are some of the mistakes people actually make. You put a lot of money inside your account because you are about to apply for a visa, and most times it will actually affect you negatively, right? Of course, you need to pay your visa fee. It's pretty standard. And yes, another thing is your cover letter. Now, what cover letter does is that it ties your application together. It explains things like you have 30 million in your account, you sold an apartment, you get paid 30 million came into your account suddenly, right? It doesn't come, it just came. You have to actually explain. The cover letter will explain where that money came from, what it was for, right? And if you have document, maybe sales agreement or whatever, you also have to approve it and mention in the cover letter that you have sales document, you have attached it, and this is document, the sales agreement between the person that paid you that money for your apartment that you sold and this. You get what I mean, right? So that's what cover letter is supposed to be. Now, travel history is also very important. I mentioned the fact that I'm going to be explaining travel history. Now, there's a reason why if you're applying for visa, some visas, I think the US does that, their DS-160 form, Australia does that as well, and a whole lot of these countries, they will ask you list the countries you visited in the last 5 years, from the last 10 years, countries you've been to. They want to be comfortable that you have actually traveled and come back. Let's say you're traveling as a tourist and you have toured South Africa, you have toured Kenya, you have toured Ghana, you have toured Nigeria, you have toured and you say you are toured UK, and you say you are going to tour France. It's easier to actually believe that you are a genuine tourist because you have travel history. All right, one of the things I plan to do is to make a video and show you guys how to actually build travel history. If you want to see that video, let me know in the comment section and I would show you how it's done, and of course hurry it up to show you how it's done literally. Now, if somebody, now of course, yeah, one of the reasons why visas get denied most times is when you don't have ties to your country and when you have too little or too much money, right? I've explained this severally. Now, I'm going to be focusing on the tie. The tie means that you have a strong tie, something that it will definitely bring you back to your country of residence or your country of origin. So you need to actually prove that. And one of the ways to prove that is marriage. You have marriage, you have children that you're leaving behind, that you're traveling, you know, so you have to include the birth certificate of your children, showing you are their father or their mother. You have to include maybe you have properties, right? You have to include your property documentation. You have a business that is running. You have to provide proof that your business is actually making money, you know, and all of those things. You also have to, if you have employment, a very good employment, you have to provide the employment letter that you are employed in so and so company and this and I pay you so amount of money, and you are the manager, you are this, you are that. That's a project you are managing. Do you get what I mean, right? So you need to actually prove that you are engaged in your country. So you would be losing out if you go there and decide to become an illegal immigrant. So that's very important. So that tie is very important. Family, marriage, employment, you know, you are busy right here, you know, so it's a very good tie that will actually show that you are going to come back. So if you are a first timer, I would encourage you to actually build travel history. You know, there was this client that I had a conversation with. So he applied for a Portuguese visa and they gave him 7 days. All right, they gave him 7 days, single entry. He went to Portugal. From Portugal, he entered Spain, stayed in Spain for a few days, came back to Portugal and came back to Nigeria, you know. So we're having a conversation and he told me he wanted to reapply, but his business wasn't doing very well, which was why they gave him 7 days and all. So he's now doing business with his brother's company and paying himself like 2 million every month, you know, to actually build that history. So when he's applying next, he would actually provide documentation that he works for this company. So he did that for like 6 months. I'm not sure if he has applied, if he has reapplied or not, right? So he said he was going to do that for 6 months. So he would actually include 6 months bank statement and all of that and tell the story. So the story looks very straightforward. Now, if you are a first timer or you have been refused before, or you give you 3 days or 7 days visa and you want a 3 months visa and all of those things, here's what I would actually encourage you to do. Travel to other countries and build travel history. You can go to Ghana, you can go to Rwanda, you can go to Kenya. All these countries are basically free entry, you know, or visa arrival for Nigerian passport holders. So go to these countries, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, Rwanda, you know, travel as much as you can, right? Those ones that have very low barrier to entry. Travel to those countries, spend time and come back. Travel to those countries, spend time and come back before you actually apply. So what I intend to do is to make a video about countries that are free visa entry for Nigerians. If you want to see that video, let me in the comment section and I'll actually make that video for those of you guys who are interested. If enough of you guys are actually interested, I'm going to be making that video for you guys, right? If you want a detailed video on the documents you need to apply for a successful Schengen visa, this video showing up right here will show you how to do that. While this video is going to show you exactly how to buy your travel insurance by yourself.